called Near Future, and it's got 5 short stories about their near future, and I really enjoyed that, and I loved my characters, and so now I am writing a second episode of each of the first 5 stories, and I've finished the one for the first story, and you can get a copy of that for free if you would like. I can send you a link to an audio video file. I'll go to JennieMoench.com because all my stuff's on there now. It'd make everything easy. And I was outside too much. I wasn't though. It was really fun. And I went on a boat ride just before it snowed. And so now I have kind of a cold, but it's almost over with, so I don't think I'm contagious or anything. Anyway, and so this is a bit that I wrote for the second story, which is about a guy who's basically raised by a robot. His name is Liam. Liam was tired. His life had quickly become much more interesting of late, but the deviation from his usual routine had the effect of making him physically tired. He stepped out of his office and wandered into the fireplace room. It had always been his quiet place, where he could sit in front of a real fireplace that offered a very realistic hologram fire. He plopped down on the sofa and stared into the flames. This was always a good way to clear his mind. After several minutes, he glanced away and noticed Arthur's black metal recharging chair beside him. That was when it occurred to him that he hadn't noticed Arthur use it in a while. Where was he anyway, Liam wondered. "Arthur," he called out. Then again in a louder voice, but still no response. Soon he stood up and wandered the floor, calling out Arthur's name. He did the same in the workshop, but still no return greeting. It was as he was walking past the French doors in the dining room that he caught a glimpse of him outside. He was just standing there, barefoot, in the field outside the garden. Curious, Liam stepped outside. Hearing Liam's approach, Arthur came out of his trance-like state that he was in and turned to his master. "Yes, Liam?" "Arthur, I've been looking for you," Liam explained in a cheerful voice. And then he looked down at Arthur's feet. What are you doing?" "Charging." Liam considered this a moment. He noted that there didn't appear to be any wires or cords connecting him to the house. How? Through the earth. Arthur 1 has developed a method of pulling energy from the earth itself through our feet. Liam was amazed. "This is something that you've been working on with Dad?" He was confused since he was not aware of any discussion on the matter. "No, Arthur 1 has been developing this method and only recently shipped the devices. I needed to install to make use of the programming adjustments. He just recently shipped the devices I needed to install to make use of the programming adjustments." Arthur explained about the online counterpart. "I've been testing it for the last 5 days. It seems to be working perfectly. I haven't had the need to recharge in any other fashion since I installed the new equipment." "This is amazing." Liam stooped down to examine the metal plates that were attached to the bottom of his feet. "I don't recall reading anything about this. The guys in the tech department usually keep me in the loop." "It wasn't through your tech department," Arthur corrected. "These plates were developed by Arthur 1, then manufactured at a plant in Africa by one of our robots there. This facility had the rare earth materials that we required. Now that my testing is complete, this kit will be shipped to every robot." Liam wanted to make sure he understood, so he repeated the information back to Arthur. "Arthur 1 used one of our robots that was sold to and working at another company without someone from the Ian Moore directing him?" Arthur considered this moment. "Yes." This gave Liam pause. Arthur 1 was already responsible for numerous public applications and internal programs for the Ian Moore organization. The online entity was an integral part of the corporation. It had even been included as a signer on privacy agreements for their public applications, but every program had been written and implemented at the direction of someone within the company, with the final consent always coming directly from Alan Moore. So for Liam, this breach in a protocol was a bit distressing. "Does my father know about this?" "Most likely no." Liam stood mute for several seconds, then collected his wits. He asked, "How did this project start?" Arthur 1 reverse engineered a human app that pulls energy directly from the Earth's core. Wait, Liam interrupted. Human app? What do you mean? Pulling energy directly from the Earth is something that humans have always been able to do. Remember, we've discussed it. When we were camping, you asked me why it made you feel energized, and so I explained to you that being against the ground was how humans recharged themselves. Ian did recall the conversation, but at the time, little science of it was, the science was still unknown. So Arthur 1 has made a breakthrough in this technology? Yes, now our robots will never have to recharge by way of cord or charging pad. This is amazing, Liam repeated. I'd like to see the programming changes and the makeup of the new equipment. Well, I sent it to you. Is there anything else that you need? Arthur asked, hoping to end the conversation so that he could continue with his testing and communicating with Arthur 1. No, that's it. Liam was still in awe, but strangely felt that he didn't want to intrude on his machine's progress. He walked back to the house and let himself in by the French doors that he had exited earlier. He carefully closed the door and gave one last glance at his barefoot robot. This was disturbing on several layers. Arthur 1 had developed a new technology from reverse engineering a human app. What was that about, he wondered. He needed to discuss this with his father. They had long ago begun a conversation about the possible path that the artificial intelligence could take, and now here he was, faced with the fact that his grandfather's creation was now developing applications and hardware that was solely for the benefit of his robot children, and that he was in the progress of mass producing the equipment and shipping them, all without human prompting. As Liam made his way back to his office, he couldn't help but wonder, have we let loose our own replacements?